Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. And Leah is here from Central Valley Electric Cooperative. And yesterday, Leah and I were at the chamber tasting green chili dishes. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
It was so fun. Very well worth the time, and the recipes were absolutely amazing.
We videoed our reactions to the dishes that we had, and that's going to be available for people to watch probably tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Sometime this week. They're going to get that all cleaned up. I like the coffee. I thought the coffee was wonderful.
It was.
Was it salmon?
Oh yeah,
that was
salmon with on the rice with the PB&J, she called it.
Yeah.
Green chili. Oh yeah, it was heavenly.
Those were good. I mean, everything was good. I don't want to leave anyone out.
Yeah.
How did you do with the ice cream sandwich?
I loved it.
Okay.
I really did. I liked that cookie, and I liked the ice cream, even together or separate. They were just amazing.
Yeah.
And it's so smooth. The ice cream was so smooth. You didn't have any chunks or anything, so it was hard to know that it was actually a green chili ice cream.
Yeah.
But and the pistachio just, made it even better.
Made it better. And then there was the drink that had the bacon in it. and Coach Mondragon, he was sweating after he had a sip of that.
It was hot.
He was sweating, and I'm like, what's going on over here? You know.
Well, he ate the pepper.
Yes.
On the top.
Right.
I didn't do that. Did you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I saw what was going on next to me, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I didn't eat either one of the peppers that were just plain. So, but otherwise, all of it was great, and I appreciate the restaurants that participated. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, it was Piccolinos. And Subway,
yes,
and Adobe Rose, and Kith and Kin.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So hats off to all those folks. And if you go out and want to try some of our local restaurants, and Subway I know is a chain, but it's local owned, local owners, and go by and support them and ask for some of their green chili dishes that they have.
Well, and Friday night special, or Friday special, I think Chloe said at Adobe Rose they would do that salmon.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to go Friday night just to see and have it again.
Okay.
It was good.
Well, I didn't eat all of mine. I saved it. I brought it for Lana.
Oh, good. Did she try it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. It's in the fridge.
Good.
It's in the fridge back there. So
I hope next time when they do the cheeseburgers and the enchiladas that there's more restaurants that participate.
Did they do one with cheeseburgers and enchiladas?
That's the next one.
That's the next one? Okay.
If not, maybe the enchilada, but there's two more.
Okay.
So before the big green chili cook-off.
I guess I didn't get invited back.
I think they invited all of us back.
I did not get invited back.
Oh, shoot. Well,
yeah.
Maybe I misunderstood all of it.
You've blown it now.
No. I think they asked all of us that yesterday.
I did not get asked.
You're definitely going back.
No, I think I ruined it. I must have spoiled it for everybody.
Well, hopefully Jessica can speak to that.
Well, I may have just missed it. I know you guys have been busy with the storms and everything, keeping everything going.
Yes, definitely. And, the storms have obviously provided outages for Central Valley Electric, but there's also been some other things that happened over the weekend that weren't necessarily weather related. They were accident related, where a pole went down, and that affected a lot of people north of Roswell. And it was, late at night. It affected people, through 2 a.m. in the morning, different parts of different areas, plus the storms. And we had tons and tons of phone calls. Our dispatcher was absolutely swamped. And one of the things that's aggravating, I know, for people is that when they call CVE and they try to get that outage reported, there's 10 phone lines that are attributed to the building. And if you can't get through, then obviously she's on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of those lines at a time. So, and it does take a little bit of time to document each outage. Now, whether that be in the computer and you're actually typing it in, or if she's just writing it down, it takes a minute to get the accuracy of the address and the phone number and the person's name. So it is frustrating for people when they can't get through immediately. But the really cool thing about the advanced technology at CVE is that when there is an outage, we know about it immediately. We don't always know the circumstances of the outage until the crew gets there. But the outage in itself, because of the database, is immediately reported and people know about it literally at the snap of a finger. So as soon as we can get a crew to go and find that particular outage, it's not always that easy to find it, especially when it's a pull down, unless it's an accident. And then that's already been reported, through the police or law enforcement, whatever. But it takes a minute to evaluate the situation.
Right.
It takes a minute to determine how many people you're going to need to help respond to that situation. And it could even mean going back and getting supplies, like a pole, or doing some type of a temporary layover for the night until the next day. So all of those things being considered when people are reporting their outages, calling CVE, which is the best way to do it. There's just a lot to consider when there's an outage. So we appreciate people who have been patient. We appreciate people who have the faith in CVE that their power is going to come back on. It's not something that we're going to leave undone or unfinished.
Sure.
So it was a very frustrating weekend for our dispatcher and tough for her. So
to get that done. Well, I had to call on Monday. We had a partial outage.
I heard about that.
And they were, right on the spot. We were in the building, and some of the lights were working, and some of the lights were not. And we were just talking, waiting for the repairman, and all of a sudden, the lights came on. And I said to Rob, I think CVE is here. Let's go check. And sure enough, they were at the pole, fixing the problem with it.
And the guys work so hard. The crews are so dependable. It's just a matter of just understanding that everything that we do with integrity. We're not going to disregard the fact that you've lost power. It's just a matter of just being patient. And we do understand too that there are people who might have a medical condition who require.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and that's something that we heard a lot over the weekend was, well, my mom's on oxygen and I'm on oxygen. Well, we don't know that until you let us know that, and there is a process for that. There is a document that needs to be completed that we need to add to your file, if you want to call it that. Literally, it's just scanning it into your account, and it does require verification that you do have a oxygen tank that's electric or whatever that needs to be highlighted, and we have high medical necessity ways to notate that on your account. And even the guys can see that on their iPad whenever they're responding to some type of a call. So if anybody does have a medical condition that we don't know about, it is best to come in, get that document, call us, we'll mail it to you, whatever, get your doctor to sign it, and then that way we can enter it into the system.
Okay.
So
and it doesn't mean they're going to drop everything they're doing just to work on that, but it does help them prioritize when they are assessing the problem.
Exactly.
And where they need to go next as they're trying to work through the problem.
Right. And every year we go through what we call emergency restoration planning, and we do that right about February, March, and we update that list. And we get it transferred from the database into a plan that is in every department. So even Raylan and I can pull up that emergency restoration plan and see who is medical necessity, if we need to. And not that it's going to be, people aren't going to carry that around in hard copy, but thank goodness with, again, the advanced technologies that we have, it's in the database, it's in the system, and the guys can see it. And that's the most important because they're the people responding. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing that happened too is you mentioned the dispatcher. I mean, I called on a holiday day and I got a real human being.
Exactly.
So is that local? Like I didn't talk to somebody in some foreign country, did I?
No, we have two people who specifically do dispatching, and they rotate 4 days a week. And then their weekend shifts. So I don't particularly know their schedule. I think it changes sometimes just to accommodate their days off and vacation and things like that. But that's all they do. But the customer service representatives and the two ladies in our billing department can also do dispatching in their absence. So there are definitely people who know how to handle those situations, who can handle those calls. And then at the end of their shift, 1 a.m., then it starts to roll over to an automated system, which goes directly to the service crew who is in that area. So if you're in the Hope area, it'll tell you to dial 1, or if you're in Local Hills, dial 5. So that goes directly to whoever is on call for that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's 1 a.m. until
7
till 7 or so.
Yeah, about 7 or 7:30.
When the next shift starts. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was nice to talk to a human being.
Yes. And both of those ladies have worked at CVE for a while now. So they're very knowledgeable about who the crews are, when to call, how to call, and they don't always know the details of the outage because the guys are out working. They can't constantly be calling and say, okay, Amy, or hey, Kathy, this is the status of this. They don't always know. So when people call and say, well, what's the status of our outage? They just don't always know. I don't always know. People send messages on Facebook and want to know.
You mentioned that before. That's not necessarily for an emergency the best way to try to reach.
It's not. And over the weekend, we got a couple of messages that says, well, I did try to call the office and I don't have Smart Hub. But Smart Hub's it's secondary, probably best way. So then they message on Facebook, which we don't really monitor, but I knew there was a situation. So I was monitoring things on Friday night. If I know there's something going on, then I definitely keep my phone with me and I talk to people. And I try to update them as much as I can. But again, I don't always know what's going on until power is restored. And that's okay, because that means the guys are out doing their job. So there's nothing wrong with just a little bit of time, in between your outages. Outages are typically very short.
Right.
So
right, unless it's a major storm or something.
Right.
Really.
But all we need to know is if you do have a medical condition, to let us know, get the documentation to us. We'll put it in your file. We'll notate it in the system, and we can respond appropriately.
Okay.
Otherwise, we don't know unless you let us know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that situation changes.
Yes.
Last time you talked to anybody at CVE, it may not have been the case.
That's
but
right.
Now it is the case, and so that's one of the things to add to your...
And phone numbers. Phone numbers change so often these days. If you had a phone change, you need to let us know, especially when it does come to outages, because it could be that we need to call you. It may have to call you ahead of time if it's a planned outage. So that way people don't get so upset if they have fair warning. So always be sure that you have a current phone number with us at CVE.
Yeah, that's important. People filling out the survey?
We let's see. I didn't get numbers for this week. We're supposed to get them every Monday. They are still offering it through the 15th, and they may extend it to the end of the month. But we had closer to 200 last week. So,
okay.
and
you're trying to get to
380.
380. Oh,
Yes.
we're just over halfway there.
I know. I didn't get numbers this week, so hopefully we will. And we did mail in 4, I think, the other day that were hard copy. So, and they're in the lobby still, and we can email it to you. It's on the website. It's on Facebook. So please complete the survey.
Please fill out the survey there that CVE has. That'd be very, very helpful. So
much appreciated.
As soon as you hang up the phone from your call, now I'm going to do that survey.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good thing.
And it was in the email 2 different times last week.
So yeah, fill out the survey.
Yeah, please do. It takes just a few minutes.
That's right. And be very, very helpful as they plan our future use. So
that's right.
Well, very good. Anything else?
I don't think so, but call us 575-746-3571. And if you have any questions, that's what we're here for. And you will get to speak to a person.
That's
always.
Right. Well, that's great. You guys gonna be at the fair?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
You got your booth all planned?
For the very most part. For the very most part. It's a matter of getting it from point A to point B.
Yeah, I understand. All right. Thanks a lot, Leah. We'll
Thank you.
See you soon, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, folks.